ये है इंडियन एम्बेसी की ताकत। स्नोफॉल के अंदर रात को स्टूडेंट्स को मरने के लिए छोड़ना, ये काम करती है इंडियन एम्बेसी।
इंडियन सरकार ये काम कर रही है
और जाने किसी को नहीं मिल रहा है।
Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is all about one of my friend. So he was studying he was doing his medicine in Ukraine, and since 2 days he finally reached his home, that is Bhubaneswar, and I know him since 2006 and we were studying in the same school. So he will be sharing his complete experience, how he managed to escape, how he felt, what was the support that was given by Indian government, each and everything he will be sharing. And this video will be a complete long video, and there are some videos and clips which he has taken from his mobile phone, so he has also shared that, so I will be adding that in the second half of the video. So you want to know the complete info, then you have to watch the complete video, or else you will not be understanding. So guys, please watch this video till the end. Thank you. So here is he is one of my school friends since childhood, and he was studying medicine in Ukraine, and he was doing his 4th year. So with God's grace he finally returned to India and Bhubaneswar, and he is here to share his experience. Whatever he felt, whatever he experienced, he will be sharing to me and to you guys. So Rituraj, please tell me.
Hey guys, I have managed to come back to my homeland on 2 days before. It was 24th of February, and we got some phone calls earlier morning that we have some bombardments in the Kiev city. So we didn't bother it much because Putin wanted to occupy Kiev as it is the capital. We never thought of attacks on our city, which is Vinnytsia. But on the same day at around 2 o'clock or 12 o'clock, I don't remember the time, but it was the daytime, we heard some explosions, and our windows and doors, walls of the buildings, they got shattered with shock waves and vibrations of the ballistic missile they fired on our city. They destroyed a military artillery somewhat around 18 to 20 kilometers down the city, but that was something to consider and concern. I mean, like, we were worried every time we used to hear the air sirens, which were very loud. I mean, we used to go to bunkers. They are underground like stuff. I mean, you can go and hide from airstrikes. So every now and then it was like sirens very loud. We used to go there and hide. Then they used to play another siren there, which means you can go back to your home. So this happened and continued some 2 days, and we were worried about evacuation. On the first day itself, the airspace was closed. It didn't allow any planes to enter. Some of my friends were stranded in the Kiev airport. They had their flight on the same day of the first day of strike. The plane which was coming to pick up my friends, it got cancelled, and it was very chaos. A lot of Ukrainians fled the country, and we were worried about ourselves. So we got some documentation and paper-like stuff which we fill up from some kind of Google Forms. They collected the data. I mean, like the Embassy of India in Kiev and the university representatives. And what happened was we were assigned groups of 30 people, something like that. We were supposed to board the bus. They arranged some 4 buses to the nearby country, which was Romania. Our evacuation plan eventually started, and we got the information that at any given time we can call you, so be ready. So it was only 1 hour left until we had to board the bus. We got the information that we need to get ready. We went to Romania border, somewhat around 5 kilometers away. The bus dropped us, and we had to walk a couple of kilometers, somewhat around 5 to 7 kilometers. It was very cold night. We had our only essential stuffs, but some people had their baggage of 20 kilograms. It was difficult to carry. I mean, like, it was cold, like -5 degrees with winds, and it was snowing as well. So we managed to reach the border eventually, but it turns out that there were a lot of people already in the border. It was a heavy chaos. I mean, like, somewhat around 1,000 Indians were already there, and we didn't know when our time will come to cross the border, when our turn will come. We just had to wait, and they opened the border in some sessions. It's not always open all the time, but anyway, some of different university students managed to get through the border. They had their paperwork ready, which mentioned which students are crossing the border. So we had some issues with our paperwork, due to which we had to spend 3 nights and 2 days in the freezing snow. thanks to the volunteers who were from Ukrainian citizens, and they provided us some food like some potatoes, warm tea and some bread slices, because of which we managed to survive. But we were just freezing. Some people had frostbite, some just fell down. Like, it was a terrible situation. We didn't had any covers, only 2 small cafes on the barren lands nearby the gas station, and there was a big tent which we used to take covers from the snow. But it was a terrible situation. The temperatures were freezing. We spent 3 nights and 2 days just to wait for our turn, but somehow we managed to cross the border, and eventually we ended up at Romania. After entering Romania, we had our immigration on our passport, and everything was just very fine. Like, they provided us with some warm shelters, food and every single stuff you can imagine. Then we were transferred to a nearby shelter home. I mean, like, it's a sports complex like area, enclosed with heated environment. 200 beds were there they provide every single stuff with medical care, like underwears and food, drinks, socks, every single thing you can imagine. And it was a very good experience, thanks to the Romanian government and their people. It was an NGO which did all the work, but thanks to them, actually. They are very good people. They also provided jackets and snow boots for the people who didn't have it. Actually very kind. And eventually we got the news from the embassy that after 2 days they will take the first 180 students from our shelter. I was lucky enough to get my number on the 180, and then we headed towards our airport. Instead of going to the capital city to go to Delhi, they did some special operation. I mean, like, they diverted the flights to our border city, so we didn't have had to go to the capital city to board the flight. It was very fortunate, and we met our Aviation Minister of India. I'm sorry I didn't remember his name, but he had a conversation with us. He told us about our plan, and he said Modi has sent him, and we managed to fly to Istanbul. Then it continued to New Delhi. By earlier morning, 9 o'clock, we were in India, and it was a sense of relief. And we were taken to Orissa Bhawan to get some rest, and eventually they managed to give me a flight to Delhi, to Bhubaneswar on the same day by evening. And on the same night by 10 o'clock I was here at my home, and everything was organized and managed by Government of India and Government of Odisha. I used to get some phone calls from Collector Office of Khurda, CM Office of Bhubaneswar and OSRTC. They were keeping a track of me. Where I was in what time. So they used to ask me any kind of further help if I want or not. So kind of them. And things were fine. They had arranged it very well. Thank you so much to Government of India and Government of Orissa, and good luck for all of those who want to come back, are still stranded over there.
So Rituraj, I just wanted to know, have you seen any missiles coming in or something like that?
Of course, on the first day we had the strikes, like on the 24th of February. I heard the noise. I mean, like, it was vibrations. Our windows and doors were shaken. People suddenly ran, and it was all chaos. The grocery stores, every single stuff was like gone. People had purchased and kept it in reserve for 6 to 7 days. And on the next day we were in hope, and we were looking into the sky, and we suddenly saw a ballistic missile being fired. I saw the trail marks in the sky, and as it turns out, after a while we got to know that they had destroyed some chemical factory on the outskirts of the city. And that's not enough, and today I got to know that they have destroyed our airport with 8 missiles. And situations were even worse in Kharkiv, where my friends are there studying medicine. It's a very big city, kind of like Bengaluru in India, so they used to hide in the metros, subways. They didn't know where to cover, and it was all chaos.
So I just wanted to know, how was your life before this war situation?
Before this, things were a little scary. I mean, I had some contact with Ukrainian citizens. I know quite a lot of them, students, teachers, and other members as well. I used to be in conversation with them, but this thing happened so suddenly, because in this modern generation of 21st century, who expects this kind of war? Every single thing goes on diplomatic talks, meetings, signatures. Like these are the stuff we are being used to, but nobody fires, nobody do some damage like it will cost people lives. But you know, they used to say like don't worry, things will be fine, you don't need to go back. And by the way, I used to have my classes offline. I used to go to hospitals to work, to study. Like things were very fine, very enjoyable. And suddenly,
And before, for example, when you just reached Ukraine,
yes,
you were from India. You are from India basically, right? So when you reached Ukraine, so how were you feeling, and how was the scene, and everything was good, or how is
everything
it?
was very normal. Nothing. It's like everything.
And because Ukraine is a very cold country, right?
we are used to cold, it's not a matter. We have been seeing this weather like 4 years.
What is basically the weather? What is the temperature there?
Right now it's in sub-zero temperatures like -3, -1. But when it's windy, it goes back to -15. We have attended classes when the temperature used to be -21, -18,
Oh my God.
and it's like normal. Life goes like normal. These temperatures are normal. I mean, like you don't stop to work when it's 42 degrees outside in India. It's like normal here. So it's the way it is. It's nothing to worry about. Things and lifestyle were totally fine. Cafe, pubs, every single thing was very open. Like things were very chaos. I mean, like the exchange value centers where you go and pay dollars and you need the Ukrainian currency, they didn't used to pay the full amount. They used to subtract some 400, 500 hryvnias and they used to keep with them because everyone was in need of money. I used to see big queues in ATM centers and banks. Everyone had money, but they don't have enough cash to withdraw. Things were very difficult. So
So have you taken any snaps or videos for
Yes,
this?
I had taken some. Not actually. I didn't used to have enough battery, but whatever I have, it's like the photos and videos shared.
Bunkers,
with my friends.
photos and
Yes,
all.
Of course, a very couple of photos, very few. Like when it was a good time, but things started to change when we were at the border. We were like, your life was put to
And
the
you were
limit.
telling like you have to walk for 5 kilometers,
Yeah,
10
yeah.
kilometers. There was a line of around 30 kilometers of the Ukrainian
Yes,
cars and all.
vehicles. You know, like there are separate lanes to cross. There, like bus lane is different from car lane, from pedestrians. You have different modes of crossing the border. So when I saw the vehicle lane, it's like 10 kilometers long. It doesn't finish. Poland border has 30 kilometers long of vehicles. The Ukrainian families, they just get out of their vehicle and they leave it there alone. They need to save their life first. They take their family and have a walk to cross the border.
And how many kilometers you people used to walk?
We are used to walk actually when we have our classes and university. Every single day we walk around 4 to 5 days. I mean like 5 kilometers, because this department is this far away from that department. Let it be, but that's not the case with carrying luggages and stuff like that.
Right.
But this we had to walk, and the problem is it was so much of chaos. Like they fired guns for the first time.
Have you seen any firing or?
Yeah. I have some videos. Like they fired on air fire to drag our attention to form a line or some kind of queue like that. But it was a very terrible experience. I had never heard gunfire like from rifle so close in my life. It was scary. I mean, like somehow we managed to cross the border, and here I am with you. Things were very different. I mean,
So
everywhere it's very chaos.
right now, what are your plans? How you are planning? Because you are in the 4th year of your complete medicine life. So
Well,
still 2 more years are left. So how you are planning, and what are your future plans?
things has come down to the point like we have been in contact with our deans, the university. They are saying like, don't worry, you don't need to transfer your university to anywhere else. They will continue to provide training and education by online format. We can continue because now until 13th we have some break, but after 13th they will organize some online classes. And the government
13th of March, you mean, right?
yeah. And the government in India is having some plea and opinions. I mean, like they are wondering to give some admissions to existing colleges like private or deemed universities. I hope they may accommodate us in some kind of year, like 2nd or 3rd year, to finish our graduation. And for the people who have finished their graduation, like they were in the 6th year in Ukraine, they can do free internship here in India. It's just these are just the talks. I mean, like they have not been confirmed, but issues have been raising. They're just deciding something. It's all a matter of time. It's barely 2 or 3 days Indians have been coming back to Ukraine, but things were very scary. I had never heard any ballistic missile or sort of like that.
So, any of your friends are still there in Ukraine, or you have any touch, or do you have any idea regarding that?
From my perspective and in my circle, everyone has come back by now. I don't know if any other university students are there or not, but it's quite a difficult task to evacuate such a large number of population in like.
And how many students were there who were studying, or is there?
Probably 19,000, something like that.
And how many Indians? Do you have any idea?
That is the number of Indians.
Okay, that is the only number of Indians that were there.
Beyond that, there are other nationalities, Jordan, like Nigeria, Cambodia, sort of very different nationalities they also study. So, thanks to the government of India, they had provided aeroplanes to.
And also, we have seen in the news that Indian flags are being used by Pakistanis and some Turkish people. They are using Indian flags and they are coming back. They are getting evacuated. They are getting used of this Indian flag. So, you have any idea? Have you seen them using this? And Indian government, and we can thank Indian government, because India government, if they are using Indian flag, so it is basically supporting, right? Other government are taking a lot of time. But there is the operation, I believe the name is Operation Ganga, right, to evacuate the people who are in Ukraine and the nearby areas.
Regarding that matter, I don't have much of knowledge. I mean, like, it's a matter of news, and I don't know much about this. But we used to have our flags on the very front of the buses so that they won't stop us at the checkpoints on the way to border.
Only Indian flags, or all the flags were being?
No, only Indian flags. We used to be only Indians in the bus, so that the process could be easier. That's pretty much it.
Alright, so guys, he was Rituraj. So he shared his experience. I hope you guys understood. So he will be sharing some of the videos, so I will be uploading that videos, some videos and snaps which he has taken from his phone, or so I will try to put that in the video. Thank you, Rituraj.
साधन से बॉर्डर पे आना चाहते हैं, बॉर्डर क्रॉस करना चाहते हैं, तो कर सकते हैं। तो हमारे बच्चे वहाँ पहुँच गए। अब यहाँ पे नहीं करते हुए 500।
ये है इंडियन एम्बेसी की ताकत। स्नोफॉल के अंदर रात को स्टूडेंट्स को मरने के लिए छोड़ना, ये काम करती है इंडियन एम्बेसी।
इंडियन एम्बेसी, इंडियन सरकार ये काम कर रही है,
और जाने किसी को नहीं मिल रहा है।
Я бачила ракету. А що це таке?
Ну, мам, ну
Як
що
так
це
ми
таке
могли
від?
виїхати, що цей?
Давай прямо.